Welcome everyone. I had a lengthy phone call from someone whom I've been associated on Facebook for quite some time, and she stays abroad and she's an Indian, and she had contacted me because of a deal that she's doing, and it's a very big deal, nearly $1 billion deal, and the deal's got stuck, and her share in it is a couple of $100 million. So I tried to find out where the deal has gone wrong. She wanted help, and sometime back I mentioned in one of the videos about my personal astrology. Normally I only give the number of my personal astrologers to our core team members. That too, very few of them, because if at all they need. Most of them never ask me for anything, no favor. Never ask me for teach me this, share this technique, share that technique, or whatever. It's an unwritten rule. We have never spoken about it. But the people who serve astrology, who get associated with Saptarishis Astrology, they do not get associated for any specific benefit. But I feel bad, and finally I said, okay, the deal got stuck. I'll give you one astrologer. He is excellent in remedies, and the deal will go through. Then at the end I said, it would be better if you do not do any remedies. Sometimes these totkas or local remedies that we call, not so specifically Vedic remedies, but local remedies, grandma remedies, etc., what you call also. So sometimes, it's better to let nature take its own course rather than intervene. Instantly. She said, God has given me everything. With this deal, which I so desperately want and I've been working hard for so many months, God will give me 300 crores and I can retire. But I don't want it. I don't want it this way. It's better I live my life the way it is. And I was so happy. I said, in an instant, I've become your fan. Because normally in India, 99% of the business community go to such astrologers who can provide quick fix remedies. Quick fix remedies. Do this, throw in water, you get this, do this, etc. and all that. Some of them are tantric remedies. Some of them are local remedies. Not so tantric or whatever. When we accept what we are getting, we evolve. And I was telling her, what do I tell you? I myself need to contact that astrologer's number I'm going to give you. And I'm going through so much in life, and for all those areas, definitely I would like some remedy, but I'm just not contacting him, because one has to take the pain. One has to take the pain. That's important. Anyway, the discussion shifted to her guru, Jyotish Guru. And that's what I want to tell you all about. She used to have a Jyotish Guru in Delhi who used to be a Hindu but practice in a dargah, just outside the dargah. Nawazuddin Dargah or something like that. I'm forgetting the name now. And we used to have just a small room, an assistant, computer, or whatever. And there would be a queue of people waiting. Everybody seated in that room, no privacy. That's the normal Indian darbar. It is called darbar, a gaddi and people waiting. That's it. No privacy, nothing. These kind of astrologers are still there in India. What I call the last remaining golden part of astrologers in India, where they help the poor, the rich, everyone, without expecting anything. And when such a darbar is there, you know for sure either the astrologer is not charging money or he will be charging very ridiculous amount of small money. So this astrologer used to charge only 5 rupees. He's from Delhi. His name is Kaushik. It was somewhere in 2002. This lady went with her husband to meet this astrologer. Why am I telling all this story? When you hear the further part of it, you'll realize these kind of astrologers are never available on Facebook, are never available on YouTube. They will not easily share the knowledge, their knowledge, and even if they share it, it will be with some conditions. So she was waiting. Her number was some 80. There was a long queue. So she asked her husband to go and request if he can kindly take her beforehand, because in the next 45 minutes her child's school is going to be over and she has to pick up her child. She has to pick up her children. So the husband went and said, please, if before the queue, if I can be entertained, if our horoscopes can be shown, me and my wife would like to request you. The astrologer, Kaushik Bhai, shouted at him because he gave the excuse that the children are going to be, in 40 minutes we have to pick up the children, and after 40 minutes if we come back our number would be gone for the queue here at your place, at your astrological consultation place, and then we'll not be able to consult you. So the astrologer shouted and said, first go and ask your wife if these 2 children are your children. Shocking thing, shouting in front of everyone. Obviously, a husband will feel so bad that this is being said about his wife. The husband came back and said to his wife, let's get out of here, he's such a rude man, etc., etc. The wife said, we have to wait in this life. We have to now meet this astrologer. Finally, whatever arrangements were made, they met him. The astrologer saw that printout of the horoscope and said, oh my God, what a huge mistake I have made today. In fact, the worst mistake I have ever made in my astrological career. You both are great, please forgive me. The thing was, she showed the horoscope of her 2 children. And the astrologer saw it, that is Kaushik Bhai saw it, and he said, he realized something, that he had made a mistake by giving that statement earlier. First go and ask your wife if, sorry, first go and ask your wife if the children are yours. That means the husband's. Both the children are adopted by this couple. Looking at the horoscope, the astrologer realized, and he realized what wrong he had said earlier without even looking at the horoscope, or just out of his mouth it had come. You find such astrologers in India. They're brilliant predictors, but they can be very harsh in their speech. Uh, you can't buy them. You'll find the best of astrologers. You pay them $100, $200, $300. They'll be nice to you because they're treating you as a client, because they require you. But these real gems of astrologers are different. They don't do it for money. You should take 5 rupees. What is 5 rupees? Nothing. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the reason he used to take 5 rupees is, he used to say the client will come back to me and give me feedback where my prediction failed. Because I'm only charging 5 rupees. Then he saw the lady's horoscope and said, I'm not supposed to make predictions at you. I'm supposed to teach you how to make predictions. From tomorrow, your life changes. You come here and start learning. And this lady describes, I've fallen in love with her. This lady describes that he used to just look at the Rashi chart. He said everything is in the Rashi chart, everything, and make the most brilliant of predictions in 2 seconds. Most brilliant. And that's what real astrology of India has always been. She said no Ashtag Varga, no divisional, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Most brilliant of predictions. If a politician comes to him and says, hey, losses in business going on and all that, so he would say, of course, you are having a second wife, a mistress. Let it go, and your health will improve, or this will happen. He used to not even ask whether this is the scenario. He used to just predict. Just predict. Anyway, I know after this video, most of you would want the phone number of that astrologer or the address of that astrologer. And that's what most of you do. When I see the comment section under the video, if you scroll down the video, you'll find comment section. You realize how pathetic the audience is. They are not interested in the technique. They're only interested in consultation. For that, there are other channels. Most people who come and create their YouTube channel, they're doing it to further their business. Okay, they're doing it to further their business. We are not in that category. We are in the category Saptarishis Astrology magazine. Please go to saptarishisastrology.com. Since 8 years or whatever, we've been publishing rare articles, far more advanced than what you find on YouTube, even on our YouTube channel. We are into very different stuff of removing rare techniques. Of course, last 2 years, I've changed my opinion of what to remove and what not to remove. So I was so happy with this lady. She learned from him. She said he then shifted to a Kabristan, burial ground. And just outside the burial ground, he had a house of his friend where he shifted, and all that happened. Then his practice, he shifted there. He had gone to Hoshiarpur for the Brigu reading. And in the Brigu reading, it was written 90 years. He came back laughing. And one fine day, probably at the age of 60, 65, he called her up and said, Abhi waqt aa gaya hai. Now is the time for me to go. This is how people, he had a great philosophy on remedial measures. He said, unless it is the matter of the child, do not use remedial measures. But he used to give remedial measures. And he used to give remedial measures from Quran also. He was a master of remedial measures from Quran. This astrologer learned from several Babas, yogis, these books, that, everything. The best of the institutes in Delhi, the students from the best of the institutes in Delhi, they used to come and try and learn from him and all that. And he used to share as much as he can, probably. That's what I was told. Like one remedial measure, the lady was telling, and she said she's seen it working really well. Because in the Delhi belt, in the Gurgaon Oklahoma belt, there are a lot of industrial estates, and many times the factory closes down because of bad management, whatever. So he said, normally we have a shutter for the door, the business, for the business we have a shutter, and on the left side there is one lock, and the right side there is another lock. So just take one lock, the keys, keep it with you. The other lock, take it completely. Okay, lock and the key, and of course close it. Take it to a char rasta. Char rasta means a junction of 4 roads. Junction of 4 roads, and keep it over there. She said, I used to wait for hours to watch who picks up the lock and the key. Who picks up? And she said, if somebody picks up and opens that lock, people will pick up just to check if the lock is working or not working. The business restarts. The business restarts. She said she's seen this working. This remedy by Kaushik Bhai. She's seen this working so many times. She said it is tried and tested. You all want to start, you all want to test it, you can go and test it. My only advice would be, do not give that thing, that remedy to a corrupt businessman. And very difficult to find out a corrupt businessman unless you're good at astrology. Because you will land up helping a bad person. You can always help a bad person, provided he has an intention of improving his karma. That's when astrology becomes spiritual. Otherwise, it's just a namesake Facebook, YouTube, and books where authors write. It's a spiritual science. What is the spirituality about it? Nothing. You come to an astrologer, take a reading. After that, nothing happens in your life. You go to astrology teachers today based on how many techniques they know, not how good a human being or she is. Okay, so your definition of spirituality is different, or our definition rather of spirituality is different. So don't give remedies to some remedies. Broad remedies you can give it to everybody. Specific remedies, remember, you will absorb. And this point I was discussing with her, and I was telling her, okay, I'm so happy I met you because you refused 300 crores. I wanted to see that. I wanted to test that. So you refused 300 crores. The remedy that my astrologer would have given her would have probably been good in getting the deal done. Probably. But anyway, normally when it comes to money, I don't. But I know this lady since a long time. She's a very nice person, very kind, very nice, and this way. And I was then discussing with her who should practice astrology and who should not practice astrology. This point in my previous videos, I think 2-3 years back, I mentioned it, that everybody cannot learn astrology, everybody cannot practice astrology. It should be there in the horoscope. And those who cannot practice astrology, whether for free or even for paid, for paid or even for free, if you're not supposed to look at horoscopes, you're not supposed to look at horoscopes because you'll absorb the energy. I mentioned it in my Facebook writings. You can browse through the old writings, you'll get it. And I don't share that technique with, there are several methods in that. But one method I shared with her because I'm so happy. I said, this is just the combination. If this is the combination, person can practice astrology, he'll be blessed. He'll gain more punya out of it. But if he has this combination in his horoscope, if he sees any horoscope for free or paid, he will start absorbing the purpose. She slowly said, I have that combination. She said, I noticed that happening in my life. She said, I used to look at horoscopes for free. I noticed what was happening to my health and my life. And it has gone to a stage where it has deteriorated badly. Now, I've stopped even looking at seeing horoscopes for free. Like how my stage is there. You know, I don't charge money. I don't see horoscopes for free also. Once upon a time, I used to see it for free, but I don't do it anymore. But that's not my role in life. My role is different. So I was so happy that she stopped because it's not there. But yes, that combination also there is a rule that you can study astrology. You can write articles or write books, but no practicing, free or paid. Some of you, I know, in the comment section will instantly say, without showing any gratitude, this thing. The first thing I notice when I see the comment section is I notice how people are. The first thing they are doing is they're straight away asking what they want. I want to see what they can give to astrology. And I read each and every comment. I just don't reply to such comments. Well, the first thing people say, give me the phone number. The first thing people will say, in my horoscope, this and this combination is that. What do you interpret? I'm nobody's servant to interpret, nor am I an astrologer to interpret. They write as if, I carry phone numbers in my memory of every astrologer. Why should I help them? What have they given to astrology? Where do I see the love for astrology? I only see the love for predictions. People are only addicted to predictions. And nowadays, to upayas or remedial measures. Anyway, I thought I'll share this story. I can keep on sharing so many stories like this. And then it becomes a problem. Like in the last Rahu video, okay, we had someone say about, oh, don't prescribe totkas and all that, the simple remedies. We need to understand that Westerners cannot recite mantras easily. They cannot do, even Indians, we find it difficult. We cannot sit, an average Indian does not have the practice to sit for 2 hours and do a sadhana. It will take him, but it's something allopathy versus Ayurveda. You take it like that. Allopathic medicine is not that's going to heal you completely from the inside. Ayurvedic medicine will do it. Ayurvedic medicine takes time. Most of the times it takes time to heal because from the root it heals. But if you have a headache, if you have a blind headache and you are driving, okay, you better take a Crocin or an aspirin because somebody's life is at stake. You have to drive, you have to reach at a certain point. Somebody's waiting, your child is waiting at the school. He's waiting right outside. So people need to use little bit of maturity and understand that sometimes, and surgery is necessary. It might not be the right thing to do a surgery. Most diseases can go without surgery. Depends on each individual's capacity, whether he or she can bear the pain. It looks good to come on a YouTube channel. It looks good to write in theory on Facebook or in a book. Okay, surrender to God, do it, etc. Ask the common man, how easily can he surrender? He can't. It's not easy for him. It's not easy to accept everything in your fate. Anyway, I just thought I'll share this, and happy journey. Predictions are not important. Study your astrology. See to it that you spend more time studying Shastra than gossiping or Facebook or WhatsApp. See how many techniques you learned every day. Did you spend in total 2 hours on Facebook and YouTube and WhatsApp just chit chatting, or did you read Brihad Jatak, Maramira's Brihad Jatak? What did you do? Did you ponder on the shlokas? That's important. If you are doing what others are doing, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and private messenger, gossiping, and all that, it's bad. It's bad. Don't waste your energy. This is the mistakes I did. Look at me today. I can't go further in my studies. I don't get the time to do it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.